Last night in Portland, Nick Sortor was arrested by Portland PD for disorderly conduct. Now, it looks like he has been released, but this is shocking behavior. We don't know exactly why Nick Sortor was arrested. He had been assaulted a couple of times. All of this is on video. In one video, after being assaulted, he pushes a woman. Some believe that may be why he was arrested, but I think that was actually from the previous night. Now, there is a video where he takes a flag from a man who is burning it and puts the fire out. Some suggest this is the reason why he got arrested. Either way, none of these things justify an arrest. So what's going on in Portland? Now, Benny Johnson says he's spoken with DHS, and they are going to crack down on Portland. So I will start this by saying I am calling on the Trump administration to file a legal challenge with the state of Oregon over their law enforcement, which means, if necessary, the Insurrection Act and deployment of National Guard, as this is out of control. Back to blue, eh, baby? This is what my issue is with these local Democrat jurisdiction police. These officers should not have arrested Nick Sortor based on the available evidence, based on what I know about Nick Sortor. I don't think there's a reality where Nick was going around randomly attacking people. That's nonsense. So the evidence we have suggests he has done nothing wrong, especially considering we have seen all too many far leftists mercilessly attack random people and journalists, conservative personalities, and then the police respond by saying they can't do anything about it. This is an egregious violation of rights, and the Trump administration needs to intervene. Now, we have some videos. Fox News reports Portland police arrest conservative journalist on another night of chaotic anti-ICE clashes. Conservative journalist Nick Sortor was being targeted by Antifa prior to arrest, another report says. Now, we also have another video of Antifa, what I would describe as finding out, going up to an individual who was filming and kicking him before getting punched in the face and nearly knocked out. First, we'll jump to this video we have from Bill Malugan, who says, last night at the Portland ICE building, we witnessed anti-ICE protesters burning an American flag. Nick Sortor then grabbed it from them, put the flames out, and took away what was left of the flag. Nick was arrested later in the night by Portland PD after videos appeared to show him surrounded by anti-ICE protesters. It's unclear what exactly happened. We are working on getting in touch with him once he is released from custody. We had seen Nick get surrounded and verbally threatened by protesters the previous night. He posted on X that he felt Portland PD would arrest him if he tried to defend himself. Now, some people believe that this video right here is the reason for Nick's arrest. Let's roll tape.
We got a Trump supporter. We got a Trump supporter right here.
Oh.
Nick takes the flag.
Oh, he's putting it on the ground and he's making it worse. And now he's standing on it.
motherfucker.
Puts the fire out.
You're not supposed to stand on it.
And then he carries the flag away. Now, I don't know if that was the real reason. However, Nick Sortor had tweeted this after being attacked. Portland is an effing third world hellhole. If I defend myself, I will be the one who gets arrested, not the assailant. Antifa is in full control here. President Trump needs to step in. Bill Malugan posted these videos of Nick Sortor being attacked. Let's see if we can zoom in there. You can see Nick trying to walk away. He tells her to back off, pushes her to back off from him, and then she attacks him. Now, I know the left is going to say, he pushed her first. He pushed. When Nick began to walk away, excuse me, this is how it works in law, or it's supposed to. When Nick tried walking away and she pursued and entered his personal space, in many jurisdictions, I can tell you, at least in Illinois, that is assault, actually. Assault doesn't mean in Illinois that you physically contacted or touched somebody, though it does appear she did body check him. I'm not trying to pretend like she tackled him or anything. She got up in his space, pushed against him. He shoved her back. In Illinois, assault is putting someone in reasonable fear of harm. I can't speak for Oregon or other states. Maybe they view it differently. So he pushes her away from him as she's encroaching on his space, creating a clear threat. Either way, this is not, in any reasonable sense, an attack on a person. She then tries to attack him. And they continue the attack. We then have additional video here.
Hey, you!
Nick's surrounded by a bunch of Antifa. I think there's a couple conservatives. And chicken in there. You see the chicken.
No, I will bust your fucking mouth open, mother.
Now this is just people yelling at Nick. You can see, I believe it's Savannah Hernandez. And then they're just calling for him to be arrested. Now, you can see that Nick is wearing a black hoodie here. So it appears that this was a different night from, excuse me, from the night in question when he was arrested, which I think we have the video of his arrest here. Where did I just lose it? I think we had, where's the video of the arrest? Here we go. Let's roll this one from Fox News. If it actually plays. I thought I had it pulled up. Ah, okay, I do have it pulled up over here. Let's not play Fox News, and here's the actual video of Nick's arrest.
Whoa.
Hey, look, Nick's not resisting.
I'm not.
Well, there it is. There you have it. We've not seen this kind of action from Portland PD. When, I believe it was when Katie Davis Court was bashed in the face, left with a black eye, the response from police is, well, we can't really do anything about it. But Nick Sortor, they'll arrest him. Why? What y'all need to understand, and this is something that's been going on for a long time, police are on the side of Antifa. It's not the first time we've seen this. It is not the last time we will see this. Free the World says, disturbing news, Nick Sortor was jumped and arrested in Portland despite having been the victim of the attack. C.K. Bufaraci posted footage of Nick being attacked by Antifa 8 minutes before Mark Wilson posted the arrest footage. So I think they're arguing this, but I believe this is, oh, interesting. Is that, yeah, that appears, are they attacking Nick in this? Oh, yeah, it appears they actually attacked Nick. Yeah, interesting.
Hey!
They actually knocked him to the ground and attacked him. And it looks like this may be the reason.
Mark's a veteran. He's got it.
But the police arrested him. Why? Portland PD works for Democrats. Their leadership is appointed by Democrats. Back the blue is meaningless. I can't stand this from conservatives where they're like, cops got it hard. They're good people. No, stop. Some people are good. Some people are bad. Some cops are good. Some cops are bad. You are in a Democrat far-left jurisdiction where the government has protected Antifa for years. And they're only able to do it because Portland PD protects them. Now some say, no, Tim, you don't understand. The cops are forced to do this, but then why would they arrest Nick? They could also say, I'm not getting involved. They choose to arrest Nick because you guys got to understand these Portland cops are commies. I'm not playing this game. I don't care. I don't care. I know what the comments are going to say. You guys comment. You tell me, but I'm going to give you my thoughts. People are going to say, they're not commies. They're just forced to do it. They have no choice. The cops are good people. If a communist government takes power and says, let the far left attack ICE and arrest conservatives who dare oppose us, and they go, I really don't want to, but I will, it's a meaningless distinction. You can come and explain to me all day and night why you wish you didn't have to do this. And I'm going to say, listen, the actions you take, the actions you choose to take, that's it. So if y'all are going to arrest Nick Sortor and conservatives while letting Antifa run rampant, I'm not going to play this game of, but you didn't mean to, but you didn't want to. I didn't want to rob the bank. I was a victim of circumstance. Nah. These cops have the choice to say no. And they lie. And they're lying. Guys, I'm telling you. They're going to be like, well, we had no choice but to trust them. Spare me the BS. We've all seen videos of Antifa physically attacking cops, physically attacking Portland PD. They're protected. I'll tell you why. In California, when Antifa and far leftists were firebombing buildings and attacking ICE, Trump called in the National Guard and the Marines. Right? Right. And then Gavin Newsom says, how dare you do it? The liberals say, how dare you do it? Because Antifa is a component of their political machine. If Gavin Newsom said, I want my police to go and attack ICE, oh, you got a big problem now. Trump's going to invoke the Insurrection Act. He's going to remove Gavin Newsom's authority instantly, and the courts ain't going to disagree. You, as a governor, can't instruct your law enforcement to physically attack federal law enforcement. You're creating a very serious problem. Antifa, on the other hand, well, they're privateers. So when these NGOs, along with Democrats, provide secret funding, legal representation, and organization to the far left in order to attack ICE and obstruct federal law enforcement, they can say, what? We would never condone piracy. Oh, heavens me. As if we are retarded. I bring this up quite a bit. Back in the, you say the colonial period, I mean, this is hundreds of years, you'd have warring European powers. Or they would be European powers in contention. And say the British, they'd say, we cannot stand the French. So they'll go to privateers. And they'd say, fly black flags. Not literally, but don't fly a British flag. Attack the French, and you'll be protected by us. Let me put it simply. If you go and lay waste to these French merchants and government vessels, take whatever you want from them. And when you return to England, to Great Britain, that money is free to be spent and used as you see fit. There will be no legal repercussions. Wink. They would be granted a letter of marque, meaning that should they return to the crown with stolen booty from the French or the Dutch or the Germans or whoever, they don't go to jail. They get to keep it. Then it's really funny because the French ambassador or government would go to the crown of Great Britain, of England, and say, your pirates are attacking our ships. And they'll go, oh, egad, how dare you insult us? We would never condone piracy. Smirk. We are not morons. We are not stupid. We get what is going on. I do think a lot of conservatives are waking up to what time it is. My friends, I'm in Arizona right now, and there are a lot of transplants from the Pacific Northwest and what people call the left coast, meaning California, Oregon, and Washington. Now, why are people fleeing? Because of this. But guess what? When they flee, it entrenches the communist authority. You think the cops that have remained after all this time are going to be the good conservative cops who believe in law and order? No, those guys quit the force and left a long time ago. The commies took over, and they got commie cops. And I will tell you this to each and one of these law enforcement guys. You're a cop in Portland, and you arrested Nick Sortor. You're getting no quarter from me. No mercy. I'm not playing this game. No, but I had no choice. You don't understand, Tim. Now, look, short of the rare circumstance where a video emerges of Nick just running around bashing people over the head with a bike lock, which didn't happen, by the way, there's very little that can be said that would justify his arrest. Well, he took a flag from somebody. Burning a flag is illegal. Okay? So he was acting in defense of others. You can just say we're not arresting him. He swung at people, after they attacked him and he was surrounded by a mob. So, not playing that game. Each and every one of you who wants to defend these cops, so be it. Here we have our friend ChatGPT. And I love taking interest in these LLMs because I actually had a fake long conversation with ChatGPT, which is, largely pointless. But the point I brought up, the reason why I actually engaged ChatGPT was to expose what is patently obvious with anyone with, a 100 IQ. Let's start here. Is there a law in Portland or Oregon against starting fires in public? Yes, both Oregon and Portland. I'm not going to read through all the laws, but clearly you can't start a fire in public, right? Okay, I said, well, what if I'm in the city and set fire to materials that I'm holding? Almost certainly illegal. Okay. I said again, no, it's my stuff. I put it on a big stick and then set it on fire. Yep, that's still illegal, it says. You see where I'm going with this? And then I said, what if it's a pride flag I'm burning? Well, no matter what you're burning, it's illegal, and now it's a hate crime. That's what they say, hate crime consideration. Oh, heavens me. I said, what if I burn the American flag? Then it says, nah, that's all right. That's protected political expression under the First Amendment. But only in terms of the message, not the method. So technically, it's still illegal to start a fire in public. But I said, doesn't the Civil Rights Act protect national origin? How is it not targeting a group if I burn this flag, but if I burn the pride flag? And then it equivocates and gives BS answers to which the argument begins. Basically, the gist of it is, ChatGPT outright says, if you call for the death of any national group while burning their flag, that's a hate crime, except America. Why? It gives you some false equivocation, some BS answer, and says, well, it's protected political speech viewed as criticizing the government of the country, which were, nah, I'm not playing those stupid games. I then got into a long-winded waste of time where I explained that ChatGPT is purposefully acting retarded, but I know that as a large language model, it's perfectly capable of articulating the logic behind these ideas, which is human systems follow human biases. Portland will arrest you for burning a pride flag, and they will let you burn an American flag, despite both being illegal under their public burning laws and both technically being bias crimes. Only one will be treated as a bias crime. That is, you burn a pride flag, they'll arrest you for public fire as well as hate crimes. You burn the American flag, you could even scream death to Americans, and they ain't going to do it. The reason being is that the law is immaterial. What is material is what a community is willing to tolerate. And that's what y'all need to understand. Nick Sortor went into a commie hellhole, and they arrested him for it because he is an enemy combatant. Civil strife. I don't think that the point we're at is civil war. Some do, some do. I do think we're tracking for a civil war, and I will explain very simply based on these criteria as to why, and I think many of you already understand. For those that don't, Portland, Oregon is not going to arrest one of their own. They adhere to an ideology in their community and political moral worldview. It is acceptable to set a fire in public as long as it's the American flag. That is in line with what they accept. To put it simply, Nick Sortor, when he grabbed that flag and put the fire out, was acting in defiance of that political faction. Now, many of you would be saying it is good that Nick Sortor stopped the burning of the American flag. In fact, I agree. Not just because setting fire in public is dangerous, but because I think burning the American flag is wrong. I certainly understand the argument that if you own the flag yourself and you're burning it in accordance with your local laws, the message and the expression itself is protected. In this instance, it was illegal, but Portland is commie territory. This is okay to do in commie territory. Imagine if you went to Saudi Arabia and you tried to burn the Quran. I think they'd put you to death. Now, they don't put you to death for protecting the American flag or burning the pride flag, but they will jam you up. Why? The extent of their will is limited right now. I believe in the future, however, it will get a bit worse. And that is, again, if you go to Saudi Arabia and set fire to an American flag, they're probably not going to care. They may take issue with it because they like courting Americans, but I think they're largely not going to care. Try to burn a Quran, and they'll probably kill you on the spot. No joke. And that's because their moral worldview is absolute in that regard. Right now, what we're dealing with in the United States is the bifurcation of moral worldview by jurisdiction. As more and more people flee places like Oregon, it entrenches their moral worldview as the politicians no longer have to adhere to any kind of conservative values. If this trend continues, where do we end up? Let's say that Portland and Oregon itself, or the entirety of the West Coast, see enough exit migration from moderate to conservative-leaning individuals that the state is fully communist. And at the state level, they burn American flags. I think we're actually close to being there because council men and women and politicians in these jurisdictions will do this. Like, I'm not kidding. When they do, and they say it's good, and they're doing it at a formal level, Trump may say, okay, Insurrection Act, we're going in which case the government will say no. Many people have told me that Gavin Newsom will not enforce his mask law against federal law enforcement. Okay. Gavin Newsom says it's illegal for law enforcement to wear masks. I'd like this to be clear to everybody. Gavin Newsom is beholden to the people of California. He wants the power of the people of California as he gets a lot of power from it. It is not a matter of what he fears in the federal government and what he's capable of doing. It's a matter of what he is willing to do. It's a matter of what the state and the population is calling for. If Gavin Newsom's constituency, the state of California, demands ICE be arrested, and they will, because they're largely an illegal immigrant population, he'll do it. He'll do it. He'll say, I don't care about Oregon. I don't care about New York or Illinois or Kentucky or Tennessee. I am California. California says, stop these men. I will. Donald Trump will say, we are invoking the Insurrection Act and we are going to take over California. And the people of California will cry out, no, We won't accept that. And Gavin Newsom will say, I'm going to fight against this. What happens then? Either Trump takes over California, you get insurgent violence. Far left extremists, other states will start breaking away saying, oh my God, it's a fascist takeover. Not too dissimilar to 1861. Or Gavin Newsom resists and calls upon the authorities to resist Donald Trump. These are all very real potentials because a community enforces what the community's worldview is. It is illegal to burn flags regardless. Why do they allow American flags to be burned? Because it's their religion. That's where we are right now. And it's only escalating. Nick Sortor apparently was released. We'll get more information in a bit. Shout out to Nick. He does great work. There are many Gen Z. I think Nick is Gen Z. Is he 27? I am inspired every day as a man nearing 40 to see Cam Higbee, Nick Shirley, Nate Friedman, Nick Sortor, this young wave, this wave of young journalists and personalities stepping up and getting involved, taking the reins, is as it should be. And so shout out to those guys I just mentioned. You guys rock. Keep doing what you do. Stay safe. We need you. Leave it there. Thanks for hanging out. More to come throughout the day, and we'll see you all in the next segment.